come to suck your blood. Sorry. This is not a vampire episode. This is a Guys Who Suck episode of Check Out This Guy. A podcast where we talk about OCs. And yeah, we're talking about guys who suck. I am Morg. My pronouns are they, he. And sometimes you just want to make a guy who you hate. Make a guy get mad at, you know?
Yeah, I definitely know. I'm Elvire. My pronouns are... What are my pronouns? They, he, she. Wow, I forgot all of them. I have 3 of them.
Oh,
and
wow.
I forgot every single one of them.
Oops.
You could say they've been sucked out of me.
Uh-huh. Hi, I'm Spike. I want to succeed at this podcasting thing, and I'm not sure that we're doing this. You can call me she or he. Just go ahead and just pick one.
We love to be a huge mess when Emery isn't here, Avi.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, we're talking about guys who suck. We were talking a little bit ahead of time. We might talk briefly about some guys we've made who suck. And then we might try to make a guy or so who suck.
Mm-hmm. The suck.
The suck.
Mm-hmm.
Vampires are back, baby. No, could make a vampire who sucks.
We could make a vampire that...
I have made a vampire who sucks.
You kind of did, I guess. She doesn't suck anymore.
No, she still sucks. She just sucks in new and exciting ways.
Fair enough.
I don't know who you're talking about, so maybe we should start there, and you should tell me about this character that sucks.
It's Edu.
Oh, it's Inu. I do know this one. Never mind.
It's
He's
the
kind
one
of a
I can't
vampire.
stop talking about.
It happens. Happens to the best of us.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, who's gonna start telling us about a guy who sucks?
Well, I kind of want to hear about the one that Emery suggested. Like, one of the ones that Emery suggested that Spike made. Not to put you in the spotlight. But I do kind of want to hear how you're going to pitch Jack to us. Because
Okay.
He sucks so bad.
So here's the thing. We were talking about this earlier. When I create characters, there's at least some level of self-insert just because they're tabletop characters. Having that link where it's like there's something about them that you know and can embody makes it so much easier to play them. Like
Mm-hmm.
That's the onboarding point. However, we played Speeding Bullets. And Speeding Bullets is a very fun game. And you create a character and then you create their rival. The thing is, after you've played a game of Speeding Bullets, you have the option of playing it again, where you play as the rivals, and I forgot that was the case. So I just made the most horrible thing that I could make. So Speeding Bullets is a Sonic the Hedgehog, or really actually a Shadow the Hedgehog role-playing game that is a lasers and feelings hack. It doesn't matter who my first character was. But the rival was Jack, and Jack was a human. Jack was a police officer.
Ugh. I hate him already.
Uh-huh. And he just showed, as the rival, he just showed up to just fuck everything up, whenever he showed up. That's just how rivals work in that game.
He's just didn't he specifically hate furries? And we were all
Yes.
furries?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. He also hated furries because it's a Sonic the Hedgehog game. So yeah, that's Jack. And then Morg had the best idea in the world. Cause we got through the first playthrough, and where we had left Jack was that he was on a police helicopter and it crashed in the middle of the desert. And Morg had the perfect idea of he died. Jack's dead.
He's dead.
Yeah, that fucker died. And he went to hell. And when he was in hell, he got really mad because he's obviously a good person. He's a police officer, after all.
He belongs in heaven, right?
Yeah, he should be in heaven. So he makes a deal with the devil. You know, the devil from the Bible?
As you do.
Just like the real Shadow the Hedgehog game.
Yes. Yeah, we got a little bit snap cube with it. And so he accepted a mission from the devil and a weapon from the devil. He got a katana. And he,
about the katana.
Yeah, and he got the mission of, well, break into heaven and kill God.
Mm-hmm.
Get revenge on God for the fact that you obviously should have gone to heaven and instead you ended up in hell.
Yep.
So
seems fair. Seems like a very fair deal.
So Jack got resurrected as just a skeleton. Because, you know, he was out in the desert. So he comes back as a skeleton with a katana. You know, just I was having fun, like I was doing the Jack from Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. I was doing the Jack voice. And yeah, should I say how things continued?
It's kind of up to you. I think we had talked about doing a Speeding Bullets episode, but like I feel like there's a lot to talk about for that.
Yeah, let me just go partway through. I'm not gonna say how it ended up, but we do make it into heaven.
Yeah, we sure do. That was our goal, and we did it.
Yeah, and in this game, God took the form of what you think that they should look like.
Do you want to know what fucking Jack's?
I want to know so badly.
I'm going to post the picture for Elfir.
My man.
And I want to see if this gets a reaction. For all I know, you might not know who this is.
Yeah.
I'm so curious. Okay, let me look at this. I'm so sorry. I do not know who this is.
So is from, well, let me describe the image. This is a Caucasian man in a police uniform. It is from a movie by the name of Lethal Weapon. And that is Mel Gibson.
That's what Mel Gibson looks like.
God is fucking Mel Gibson.
You should not know what Mel Gibson looks like because we found out he is a horrible man and sucks.
Yeah.
See, if Jack was actually good, it would have been RoboCop. So instead, it was like it was Mel Gibson.
It was Mel Gibson.
I'm
glad God didn't end up staying that way. It's a very convoluted thing, but eventually he got stuck at one form. And it's a way better form. I gotta say.
Yeah, it was a combination of several different things.
And none of them were cop.
No. And it's very good. Emery drew a picture, and it is one of my all-time favorite things ever.
I'm glad Dan made it our tabletop game, like
our Discord icon.
Yeah, that's like good. Thank God.
Yeah, and then renamed the server Table Thoughts.
Yes,
love that.
Yes. So something to look forward to is our Speeding Bullets episode to talk more about what that looks like and what happened, but just know it was a mess. And it was not all Jack's fault that it was a mess, but boy howdy did he help.
The best tabletop games are a mess.
Look, the other thing to know is that between the two halves of the game, there was both Robo Jesus and Mecha Christ.
I love Gundam, so
And like an outer god named like Jesus Christo.
Uh-huh. Jesus Christo.
it's so good.
Yeah, actually in that game my character sucked a bit also, but like they redeemed themselves, so they're good now. But it's just funny because we all played like terrible rival people.
We sure made rivals who sucked.
Yeah.
And then we had our comeuppance.
Because mine was a little bit of like, it came off, like, they came off as like a god-loving, like, weirdo. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was, it was all a myth. But I can't, yeah. So it's hard to be like, yes, this character sucks, but I did originally make Animus with the intention of making them suck. So...
And what is Animus?
Oh, Animus is an angel. Kind of. But also they're just a fucking eye with wings.
Oh, amazing.
But they call themselves Animus the Angel. And their sibling's name is Axe the Eye because they're like, I am an eye and I know that I'm an eye and you are too, you fucking asshole. God. I love these fucking angel and demon sibling assholes. So I guess that was a brief thing for me also, because I'm trying to think, a lot of the characters I have that I'm like, these characters suck, are like, they're like, NPCs in my Eidolon game. More than anything, because I'm trying to think of characters I've made in the past who suck, but they're all perfect, actually. No, I'm just kidding.
Look, you can just give the audience a preview of the future episode.
Sure, I can talk about the character that I stole, like, whole cloth from a Slender Man series of videos called Tribe 12, where they had... Slenderman had some minions, and one of them was named the Observer. And I took the Observer, and I made them worse. Well, not really. They're probably less, like, evil technically, but they're way more annoying. I made them annoying, and they just, like, talk like a little freak. They're just like, hello! I'm here to cause problem on purpose.
I'm realizing my mind went to a different Observer immediately. And I don't know what your Observer actually looks like at all.
No, it's fine. I mean, I described them in the game. They're like kind of like a shadowy figure, and they have like they're not even the same, but they were inspired and have the same name as the one from the Slender Man thing because they're more like shadowy, like, and you like they're both shadowy, but like this Observer has more like a bunch of eyes that they can make appear, not to pull Elvier's whole thing, but they like can make them disappear and reappear and make them appear in different places, and they're more likely to give the eyes away than your character is, though, I suppose, instead of stealing them,
my character's more of a thief. Yeah. But I think everyone should have
conservation of eyes.
Yeah, everyone should have a character that's just way too obsessed with eyes, just as a treat.
The Observer is more like giving away eyes so they can observe, Hence the name.
The Observer should meet Lens sometimes.
Hell yeah. Observer would love to give Len some eyes. He can make more.
I'm realizing I am on the opposite end because a lot of my characters technically don't have eyes.
It's because I keep stealing them.
Yeah,
oh, shit.
Works for me.
I was like, I thought most of them have eyes to some extent. Just 2 of them.
We'll talk about it later.
Okay.
I talked a lot at the beginning, so I feel like I should be quieter now.
No, I wanted to. I was the one that prompted you to talk about Jack. And I know Elvir had talked about Lens before, but Lens is kind of a guy who sucks.
Yeah,
I would say.
I think if I'm being completely honest, most of my guys suck. I love making guys that suck because I hate when I'm watching a piece of media or I'm reading a book or something or playing a game and a character is just completely good. Fucking hate that. I think that's boring. So I like to make problematic little bitches. And I think that's fun. I think that's great. It's hard to tell a lot about Lens because they've only ever existed in my head. They've never been part of a bigger story that I told to other people. They were always just this little guy in my head that steals people's eyes when they're rude to them and they don't tell people what's rude. But I don't have a lot of fleshed out lore to tell about him.
Lynn sounds like the weirdest conscience.
Lens is if I had no impulse control. And I could just say what I really want to say to people when they're rude to me.
Oh,
you just want to steal their eyes.
I just want to steal some eyes, yeah. Yeah, I do have 2 somewhat fleshed out characters I could talk about from RPGs. I've got a dwarf that's a pirate, or I've got a very normal guy that maybe committed murder. You can choose.
Both are so good. I guess is there one you're like, I might talk about this in a future episode, because then it's like, oh yeah, go for the other one. Otherwise, like, I'm a little bit interested in this normal guy who... Oh no, wait, I think you've talked about...
I think I maybe talked about the normal one before, yeah, a little bit.
Because they're the one in the camp game?
In Sleepaway, yeah.
Sleepaway, yeah.
So maybe I'll tell you about my dwarf then.
That's about the dwarf, yeah.
Yes, my dwarf is called Flint. Their full name I've forgotten. It's Flintrit Ironbrew. Flintrit Ironbrew. What is the backstory of this dwarf that I play in a D&D campaign? Once upon a time, Flint fell in love with a very beautiful pirate boy. And so he kind of betrayed his entire clan and went to sea with the pirate boy. And that's where Flint met his second love, the sea. So Flint actually abandoned the pirate boy after he became a pirate himself, despite that being the love of his life. He fell in love with the sea, so he got his own pirate crew. And then several years later, my little bisexual mess fell in love for the 3rd time with a very, very respectable dwarf called Katra Silvertongue. Because this was definitely when Black Sails was popular on TV. But now Flintrid had a little problem because in order to get married, he would have to be associated with a clan, but he betrayed his clan, so he can't use his full name. So Katra's clan's like, not happening. You are not marrying this woman. No way. No fucking way in hell. So Flint goes on his little campaign of doing good deeds to try and gain some renown as not a pirate. And that's where the campaign sort of starts. He finds 2 half-elves and an elf to go on adventures with. Huge problem because my dwarf is racist as fuck.
Oh no!
Keeps getting into trouble. And what's happened so far in the campaign is we have managed to avoid several calamities because the world is ending. This is actually a really cool setting. The DM made this whole world where all the magic is gone because people are trying to kill the god and they're sort of succeeding. So we keep showing up at places just as the priests are completing the ritual of destroying one of the sun shards, which is connected to this god. It's super cool. By some coincidence, all my party members happen to be knocked out at the end of fights. That just happens when I'm the tank and they're all magic users.
Mm-hmm.
So I carry their unconscious body out of a lot of situations and say, you should all be thanking me personally, because I, Flint, did a solo adventure and saved you all.
God.
Did Flint secretly get a lot of loot?
Yeah, this guy is still a fucking asshole. He steals, he lies, he beats people up. If I think I'm in a situation where this information could never get to the outside, Flint will very much go for the kill. He's not good at all. His only goal is to get married to Catra right now. And I know that at a certain point, I'm just going to be like, you know what? I think Flint's no longer in love with Catra anymore. And he's just he's very whimsical. He'll just be in love with someone else. And that's probably going to happen after he manages to marry her. So I really hope my DM lets me do that, because
that's
I want to
fucked
break
up.
her heart. I didn't make a good guy. I made
No, you didn't.
I made a really shitty dwarf that just lives on his own impulses and doesn't really think about the consequences of his actions.
I'm hearing that we're all good at sucking.
We are so good at sucking.
I was like, I'm not that good at sucking, because, like, when Emre first made the list of guys who suck, I was like, none of them are on there, but it's because one of them is, like, an Eidolon NPC that came, like, pretty late, and the other one that I was going to talk about next is a character that none of you know about.
Ooh.
Educate us.
I think maybe I've talked about I talked about them as a potential character that I might play in a future interstitial game. They are the evil alternate reality version of my first 5e character. So I have to give a little bit of background on them. The original guy is a Geep Tree Frab. They're actually on one of the cover art characters that I contributed. They're like a drummer, gnome, bard, and they were kind of just like they're a funny little guy. They're playing music. They're not good, they're not bad, they're just kind of like they're neutral, like mechanically they're chaotic neutral. Like personality wise, they're like leaning good. But that's just because I was like, I just want to be a guy that, like, steals stuff, but, like, for myself. But also I'm, like, not necessarily a bad dude either. But then we were like, oh no, okay, so our party has to collect these magical implements, these, like, magical weapons, more or less. And one of the weapons is, you know, perfect fit for the bard of the party. It's I can't remember if it's a guitar. I think it might have been. I keep thinking it's like a guitar, but I'm like, no, it's something more like a medieval kind of instrument, but I don't remember, because you can play it like it's an electric guitar, so it's like more or less an electric guitar, but its alignment is evil. And my character's like, oh, I can't really play a chaotic evil instrument, it's gonna reject me. So, and we had talked about, oh, what if we did some, like, fast level up so we could do more, like, stupid shit later. And so my DM was like, hey, I have an idea, make an alternate version of yourself who's a couple levels higher, and their world got destroyed, and you all, like, your group got, like, teleported to this world somehow. I don't remember how, it's been several years, but that's more or less how it happened. And they were like, okay, only one of us can, like, exist in the world, so we're gonna have to, like, share a body. And some of the characters were like, okay, I'm gonna share a body, but, like, my regular self is gonna be, like, the one in charge for the most part. But my character was like, I have to have the evil one in charge. Because for some reason I wasn't like, hey, we should look for, like, gloves that hide my alignment. No, we should fucking make a neutral evil, like, bard who's like, instead of being like a funny, funky little drummer boy, is like a violin playing, like, orchestral kind of snotty, snooty motherfucker. And since the original version was a geep, one of the players kept nicknaming them a creep as a joke because they're the evil Ageep. And they're like, yeah, they're like the proper, you know, they're like the you know, the clean one and the dirty one, the Felix and I forget, yeah, Oscar and Felix.
Oscar, yeah.
Yeah, the Oscar and Felix situation, kind of, but also, like, the clean one's the evil one. And a creep was literally just like, I'm evil, and my whole backstory is I'm evil instead of, like, my, me losing, like, a loved one and being, like, kind of becoming, like, a thief on my own because I was like, I need the monies and I need to survive. My loved one became a warlock and really, really, really devoted themselves to, fucking demons and shit, so I did too. And so my next level up was going to be a warlock level up because I was like, I'm gonna go whole hog and be like a warlock bard evil guy with
Perfect.
a violin. And then we didn't get that far into the campaign for me to be really evil in it, but I did start to do some, like, I just think about them and like what would they be like, you know? And so there was a lot of lost potential there, but a creep is out there, and maybe someday I'll do something with them, and maybe they'll appear in an interstitial campaign in the future if I want to play an evil gentleman. So
it is fun to play evil characters, though.
Yeah.
I can recommend being in a campaign where everyone's a little bit fucked up.
That's why Speeding Bullets the second time was good.
Secretly, we all want to be a little bit fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
It's so true. Like, even my good characters have, like, problems. They do stuff, you know? They still cause problem.
Mm-hmm.
We could make an evil guy. We could make a guy who sucks, maybe. Do you think we have time to talk about a guy who sucks?
I think we can do it in a half hour.
Yeah.
So
I actually was like, maybe I should bust out my... Oh, okay, you have a character sheet. I was like, what if we busted out a fucking... my spindle wheel game again?
Oh.
Because those are some guys who sucked.
But you have a character sheet.
No, like, I just saw this. This was, like, the first non-game character sheet that I found.
I love the idea of making a vampire since we're making a guy who sucks.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I was kind of joking, but also kind of not.
No, we're not joking. I'm very serious about vampires who suck.
Okay, so let me read off these traits here real quick. Name, age, species, gender, role, orientation, birthday, occupation, then appearance, eyes, hair, skin, height, weight, clothing, accessories, skin marks, other, a blank for a description, and then character traits, positive and negative. I think we're gonna choose, like, 0 to 1 positive. for the character trait.
Right.
Yes, that's exactly how this is gonna go.
So I want to do gender first. My initial impulse is male.
Famously, they suck more. Yeah.
I can write this stuff down. I'm like,
I was just
no
about to ask,
typing noise.
is anyone gonna write it down, or are we all gonna remember what we
I
said?
think Morg just volunteered.
Yeah, I'm typing.
Hell
it out.
yeah!
Thank you so much, Morg.
The MVP of the episode.
Male.
Vampire.
Age. Oh, species vampire. Yep. Were they originally human? Because vampires don't necessarily have to be human originally, even though that is the most common. We can think about it later too, but just something to keep in mind.
I mean, like if you're in a fantasy setting or something, normally humans are the worst.
True.
I am suspect of anyone who chooses to play as a human character.
I'm so
Sometimes
sorry. I've played humans before.
Sometimes people play humans because they're like, I want to be basic guy.
Yeah,
And I get it.
I wanted to be communist guy, so I picked human.
You want to be what guy?
I was communist guy.
Communist guy, hell yeah.
Yeah. See, like if you can come up with a reason, but normally it's like normally it's people where they're like, well, I want to be the most normal.
Okay,
Or something
I've got a
like
suggestion.
that. And it's just like, no, that's gross.
I've got a suggestion for our little vampire, because in some fantasy settings you do have, like, indeed born vampires, like they procreate and all that shit, and then they just conveniently stop aging at an attractive age. What if our guy is actually a half and half? He's half human, half vampire, and it's the worst of both worlds.
Okay.
The hamper or whatever.
Okay. One of these blanks is age.
This is, I don't want to be rude.
I
but
want to
think
say
this-
14.
I just was about to say the suckiest age is a teenager.
Yes, we're on the same page here.
Y'all, this is so funny because I've talked about this in Discord, but I'm like listening to a podcast where they're talking about fucking Twilight, and he's a teenager, even though he's 104.
Yeah,
he's 17 years old.
He's
the most 17-year-old boy. And just making a 14-year-old teenager, like, vampire who sucks ass is very funny. Is he 14 just like straight up? Or is he like
straight up
he's a half
14.
vampire now, though.
right?
What is it? Is the word dampier?
Yeah, Dampier.
There's words for this. Amazing. The English language sure is a thing.
I never know how to say it, so I'm like Dampier? I don't know.
I don't know.
I think you're closer than I am. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah. Like a Vampire Hunter D or like an Alucard.
Right. Yeah, so age 14, gender male, species half human, half vampire, vampire.
Oh, I guess like a Blade also.
Right. What's this other? Is this a role? Is that what that says?
Yeah. Like what's their role in their story?
Well,
this is
the main guy,
this is
obviously.
a writing tool.
He's kind of got to be the main. Yeah, I'm like, is he like just a shitty evil main character? That sucks.
Hell yeah.
God, he's like that main character in those. I don't want to admit that I sometimes read these harem books, but that like these shitty main characters that think everybody loves them and everybody should adore them, and that everyone just wants to have everything to do with them. Like, oh God, please, you're not that interesting.
Yeah, I'm seeing a next blank being orientation, and you just said the word harem.
Yeah, I was like, is he a harem guy? Is this straight? Is he just straight? Is he just a straight guy? Like, I don't want to be like
he's straight, but is he the main character of a harem anime?
Probably.
That's what I was wondering. I was like, is he a main character of a harem anime where he's a vampire?
I want to pitch that he's pansexual. Not because I think pansexuals suck, but because I think he can be shittier to more people that way.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
yes.
I was like, do we want to make him straight? Because I kind of want to make him shitty to more people. This was my thought too.
Oh,
He can be gay and
wonderful.
homophobic, and I think that's what he's gonna be.
I think he's
Yeah.
gay and homophobic. I'm gonna put that in parentheses.
He's pan in the worst way.
The
Yes.
worst way. Yeah. It's only acceptable
What a vibe.
for men to be gay if it's with him. That's the worst kind of jealousy ever.
Oh no! It's all about me.
Is this a modern day story?
I pictured it as modern day, but I'm down for
It could.
something else.
I feel like we're making a guy that we could drop in any setting, and he'd be the worst.
Uh-huh. But if it's truly modern day, he's born in 2009.
So fucked up.
And that's offensive to me on its own.
That's so fucked up.
I
I think we have to do that. I think
Yeah.
we have to make him the worst guy, right?
Yeah.
So he has to suck and be born in 2009. Sorry to all white. Actually, you shouldn't be listening to this if you're born in 2009.
Yeah, if you're born in 2009, please leave and just come back
Yes.
in 10 years' time.
Shut off the podcast.
4.
You're not allowed here. I'm sorry.
No, if you're 14, it takes 10 more years before you're 18. Everyone knows this.
It's so true.
I'm sorry that I'm shitting on teenagers so much, but you know what? I vividly... No, it's not true. I do not vividly remember being one, but I remember the worst bits.
Yeah, me too.
From the age of 14 to 24, I was the absolute worst, so this makes perfect sense to me.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah, being a teen sure is a thing. His occupation is gonna be wannabe gamer. Like he's on what's that game? League of Legends, where they're extra mean to each other.
Is he a
People
Twitch
still
streamer?
play LOL? Do people still play LOL? I actually don't know.
I also don't know. I'm not a teen.
I don't think there was ever a game that replaced it.
Yeah, because I was like,
there
I
were
know
a bunch of
not
games that tried.
Not to be like 100 years old, but I'm like, oh, the kids do be playing
Oh.
Fortnite, and but like,
Right, yeah. I mean, when I was growing up, the game that I played was World of Warcraft, and I don't think that's relevant for teens today.
I had a huge brain genius idea.
Roblox.
Oh,
Maybe a Roblox player too, you know.
No, I want him to actually be a pro gamer.
At
Oh,
14. Oh, that's gonna do
At
wonders
14,
for his ego.
but no, specifically Overwatch League.
Oh no! Oh, that's
Maybe he's a wannabe for other stuff, but he's pro at
yeah.
Overwatch.
And because he's good at Overwatch, he's like, I'm good at every game ever.
Uh-huh.
God, I hate this guy.
Yes, Overwatch League circa 2023. Well after the game has lost relevancy and everyone knows how shitty Blizzard is.
Yeah, I'm like, who plays Overwatch 2? I actually genuinely don't know anyone who plays Overwatch 2.
Well, we need to come up with a name for this guy so that we can say who plays Overwatch 2.
What's the worst name we all know? Who? We're all gonna have
feels mean.
We're all gonna end up
very
saying
targeted.
someone that we know in real life that we hate, and that's very tricky. So maybe I should just open randomnamegenerator.com.
The first name I thought of, and this is no offense to anyone named this, but the first name I did think of was Jeremy.
Jeremy is
Jeremy
strong.
ever do to you?
I know. That's why I'm like, I'm so sorry to the Jeremys in the audience, but you can imagine. I'm sure even nice Jeremys in the audience can imagine a 14-year-old Jeremy playing Overwatch 2. I'm sure of it.
So I'm trying to think. I think I've only known one Jeremy in my life, and he has passed away. So I think we're safe on my end. He was nice. He was
I know
nice.
some Jeremys, and the two I do know are nice. One's a little hyper competitive, but he is generally nice as long as I'm not playing against him, and the other one is like just nice all the time, always. So this is genuinely not a call out to Jeremy's on the greater whole. But we can go for something else if you would like. But I was like, that's just the first one that I was like, oh, Jeremy.
But it
is solid.
My only hesitation on Jeremy is it a good Dampier name?
I think it's a funny Dampier name.
Yeah, sorry. I'm thinking about names, and because he's extra shitty, I actually wanna give him like, and that's what I'm looking up. Is Jeremy a biblical name? Because I feel like if you're a shitty character, you should have a
Jeremiah is.
Jeremiah
is. Oh no.
Jeremiah. And what is
because I keep on saying Dampier, I am now imagining him as very sweaty. He is 14 after all.
Yeah, and he games.
So I think that we can mark down that he is sweaty, probably has acne.
Mm-hmm. Is this like description?
Yeah. I mean, we don't have to go in order.
Yeah, no, we don't, because I'm typing it, but I was just...
But I'm sold on the name Jeremy, by the way. It's a good... Apparently it means Yahweh will exalt. So, great name for our shitty character.
And then I'm like, oh no, there's also the cool Jeremy that goes by Jer.
No, this isn't the cool Jeremy. This is an annoying Jeremy.
Jeremy, the cooler Jeremy.
I don't know anything about this, but I did type into Google Jeremy Vampire.
Mm-hmm.
That's just his name. It's just Jeremy Vampire.
No. Apparently, like. So there's a show called The Vampire Diaries, and the main character's name is Jeremy.
Oh my god.
I don't know if he's a vampire, though.
I bet people listening are like, oh my god, there's already a Jeremy and vampire. But, like, I didn't know that, okay? I was never...
Is that the main character? No, I've watched Vampire Diaries. This man means nothing to me. Who is he?
It says he's the main character.
I know, it says right here in the Wikipedia. I'm looking at it. I'm like, who is this guy? I don't know who you are.
Is he in the books, is what
He was never on my walls in my I'm pretending I'm straight era. I don't know who this is, but he looks like he should be on Supernatural.
Fuck, dude. Jared would also be a great name. If we're going for Supernatural. I'm sorry to all the J name you havers. I don't know what my problem is, but I'm just thinking of Jared, one of the Supernatural brother name, like the actor's name.
Not even the character.
Isn't that also the shitty Subway man?
Yeah, but I'm also thinking, oh no, then I could make the joke. I'm Jared. I'm 19. I never learned how to read.
Okay, I am currently, while we're doing other things, I am going through a list of 100 suggested last names for vampires.
Oh, good.
We're keeping Jeremy, right? Even though Vampire Diaries, I have no memory of that man, therefore he does not exist.
Yeah. Morg will be amused to find out one of the suggestions is Doyle.
Good. I'm glad. I can see that. Maybe I'll make that a thing. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
You don't know your dad. Dorothy doesn't know her dad. This means nothing to anyone.
Yeah, I was just like, we're gonna need to clarify now.
This means nothing to anything. I'm sorry. This is Spike's character's name is Dorothy Doyle, and she has family members, but she doesn't know her dad very well, so I was joking about him being a vampire. That's all. There we go. Clarified.
Why is freaking Khaleesi named as a suggested vampire last name?
I have a suggestion for a last name. What if we call him Rich?
Jeremy Rich. Very on the nose, but...
Yeah.
You
know what?
I think that might be on... I think that might be appropriate, though.
Yeah, you got it. You got it in one.
You gotta be on the nose with these things.
Yeah. I'm throwing this list out now.
Jeremy Rich, age 14, male, Dampier. Main character is his role, because I was like, I don't know, harem protagonist? Should I put harem protagonist?
Yes.
Like that.
Yes.
In between brackets, in his mind.
In his mind, yeah, good point. Orientation pansexual, gay and homophobic. 2009, so he could be 14, 2023. His occupation is, he's
Overwatch
a wannabe
League.
gamer, but he's also a pro gamer in Overwatch.
Amazing.
Overwatch League.
Eyes.
Description, sweaty. Acne.
Yeah, description, sweaty and acne. I would maybe...
As a sweaty person, this is fine.
Yes, skip
so
over
true.
the appearance and go straight into his character traits because it is 11.
Okay.
Oh, sure.
And I know that we could go on forever.
I think the traits are probably the...
Yeah. Sorry. I looked at how long we were recording and wasn't thinking about us starting late.
Yeah, me neither.
Me neither.
So... He's kind of, selfish, because it's all about him, because it's like, he's the center of attention. Think about character traits that you gave your sucky guys, and, like, we can give it to him, like...
I mean, my sucky guys commit murder.
He can commit murder, he's a vampire.
He could commit murder! You know what, if you don't think he's the best shit ever, he threatens you immediately.
I was gonna say manipulative in a way to make people like him.
Yeah.
Yes.
That narcissistic, super social shit.
Narcissistic, yes.
And like that thing, the mansplaining. Like he's constantly correcting people, but also he's wrong every time.
I think we can say that he just has all the negative traits.
Just all of
pick
them.
What his one positive
His one
trait is.
positive. Oh, that's way more difficult.
That's the truly interesting one.
Because I'm like, maybe something with his gaming, but no, he's a terrible loser. Definitely.
I want to make it so he's not, like, too likable, though. Because, like, I feel like there are a way to be like, oh, he has one good trait.
What if he has amazing work ethic?
Oh, that makes him worse.
Yeah.
But it's a good trait, right? He would his workspace is immaculate. He never games for too long, so he never gets carpal tunnel on his arm or hand or whatever you get that.
Oh my god.
He keeps to his hours, he trains. But you know what? It does make him, it's a positive trait, but it does make him shittier.
Yes.
He's literally... No, now I'm picturing this 14-year-old boy as one of those rise and grind guys, and that's so funny. That's incredible, because you have no experience to be a rise and grind guy, and yet, here you are, Jeremy Rich, he's trying his best. He's being his fucking rise and grind, like, he even pretends, I bet he even pretends like, oh, I don't want any men or women like holding me down because but he wants it so bad. He wants everyone to like him, but he's also like, bitches are for people who don't rise and grind like me.
I want to suggest one final detail. In the so he's an Overwatch League player,
right?
I want to say that he mains the character that used to be named McCree, and he continues to only call them McCree.
Fuck.
I don't know what happened there.
McCree was named after, I think, some sort of predator. I'm not sure.
Oh,
That's
unfortunate.
Yeah. It ties into the whole Blizzard was a horrible company thing.
Yeah, and our terrible guy would indeed keep using that name.
He insists on calling him, McCree. So.
Yeah.
I forget his actual name. I'm like,
Oh, I have Google.
I'm typing it in.
Cole Cassidy.
Cole Cassidy, that's right.
He used to be Jesse McCree.
Until he turned out to be a guy who sucks, and then we got a new name.
He's like, I got a dead name.
Yes!
Oh my god, I gotta dead name him, yeah.
He's dead naming the fictional character.
His second positive trait is that he keeps calling it Twitter.
His second positive
Yes.
trait. Oh no.
Anyway,
I think we're
we
done.
made-
This is a perfect character sheet now.
This is one hell of an annoying little shit. Sorry that we couldn't do all of it.
We can always, we can always come back to him. We can always do we can always, maybe, and this is a huge maybe, but what if Jeremy Rich could end up being in our, combined universe that we were talking about? Jeremy
He
Rich
has to be. He has to be.
Could show up in, so we're thinking about making some sort of, combined universe with, some characters maybe that we made on here, and we're still talking about it a little bit, but I think Jeremy Rich being on there would be pretty funny. And we can flesh him out more there, because I do want to know what he looks like.
Well,
I am picturing him as a blonde-haired, blue-eyed person.
Yes!
I am picturing him as a blonde-haired, blue-eyed person, because he kind of is I look like this, I'm perfect.
No,
yeah, but also he's
I want to
14,
say in
so
the dark he has red eyes.
Fuck.
But he's 14, so
Yes.
he's at that point where the limbs seem out of proportion to the rest of his body.
Yeah.
I can't believe that we're starting to check out this guy cinematic universe with Jeremy Rich, who will become the cornerstone of the entire universe.
This sucks. This is so
He
bad.
sucks. But
I love
the
it.
only way-
This is the best thing.
Yeah, the only way to go from here is up. We can only make better guys.
I'm so proud of us.
I'm also really proud of us. You know what else I am? Extremely tired.
Would you like to do your plugs then?
My plugs. Yeah, sure. They're very complicated. I'm just gonna keep it short by saying, hey, I'm changing my online name to Katja because of reasons. So I gotta update all my social media. Give me some time with that.
God, what a... Sorry, I'm just admiring our character still instead of talking about my shit. You can find me at Haunting the Morgue on Tumblr and Blue Sky. You can find me on co-host at Gengar. You can find me on my other podcasts, Forward ReZero, a ReZero Watch podcast, and The Sonic Shuffle, a random and holistic Sonic lore podcast. And yeah.
So I left basically all social media 10 to 15 years ago, so I have nothing to plug there. Instead, I will plug our show. Hooray!
Woo.
We have a Discord. That's where you can find me. You can also find some fun streams that we do. We're about to start a new Digimon Days on maybe tomorrow from the recording. Maybe in a few weeks. I don't know. But yeah, we're about to have Digi Mondays again. We're going to watch Digimon Savers. We also have, normally on Fridays, there is an art stream. Sometimes we watch bad movies and TV shows. Often on Thursdays, but not necessarily then. So you can find the show on social media, at Check Out This Guy, co-host, and check out this guy on Tumblr. We are also part of the Noisespace.xyz podcasting network. Thank you, Matt GameCube.
Thank you, Matt. Yeah, I think that's all for
I'm out of breath.
Thank you for doing all of that. And we end our episode because we all have to go to sleep in our coffins.
Yes. We have to charge our energies for the next episode, which for once we know what it's gonna be.
Yes, so true. We have to gather our energies.
We will be making one or more new guys, and it will be personas.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's furry time, baby.
I love furry time. I'm gonna dream so nicely thinking about my furry that I'm gonna make. But for now, I must say, what is the most vampiric thing to say? I bid thee farewell.
Can I come in, please?
No.
Aw. Bye-bye, everyone.
I gotta go home. Bye.